It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left.
Typical.
City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. Then there are the real odd birds living on the fringes like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts. Don't know which is worse. You just take your pick. If you decide to go up Clavering, don't let the guards spot you.
Well, that's obvious.
Watch out for the Bottle Street thugs if you take to the alleys. Mean bastards.
Great. I mean, all gangs are mean, I think.
I'll be here when you come back.
Except for maybe motorcycle gangs.
Good luck, Corvo.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Keep 'em coming.
There goes the body.
1, 2, 3, heave! Let's go.
There goes another one.
Midnight. But easy, damn it. Keep him in the boat. Canal's got enough shit in it as it is.
What's wrong with your face?
Hey! What is it?
I think that last one was moving.
What?
Yeah, the little one.
Not possible. I inspected them myself. Keep working.
Sorry, is there a child down there?
Disgusting.
Hey, come on, it's not that bad.
Please, I'm a bit shaken right now. I saw some terrible things today.
2,
I'm sure you have.
I can't believe the way people act in the middle of a terrible situation like this.
Welcome to Dishonored.
We were just trying to get past, and they shot Mr. Fairster. At 70 years of age, shot in the street.
1, 2, 3, heave!
Sometimes I take out the citizens as well.
How did it pass me by? All the others. Down.
Attention, Watchmen. This district is now considered a highly infected area. Residents are to be escorted to adjacent neighborhoods or delivered for immediate deportation to the flooded district. Remain in position until qualified personnel have completed the removal of infected bodies.
That's probably a safe option. All the citizens deserve to be choked out. It's just... I don't want them to see anything.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. This is a special announcement from our Honorable Lord Regent.
This is the Lord Regent speaking. It is with regret that I announce that my term as Lord Regent has been extended through the month of harvest and potentially beyond. In addition, in this continuing crisis, the overseers of the Abbey of the Everyman remain in service to the state and are empowered to enforce order whenever and wherever necessary. We owe our thanks to High Overseer Campbell for the generous loan of their services.
That's another thing you're going to be paying attention to, are those things.
Men like you, walking the streets with weapons? We don't need that.
Sorry.
What do any of us have to live for now?
Don't you have kids?
I wish the plague had taken me.
You want to be a weeper? Sorry, gentlemen. We don't need that kind of talk here.
What in the void was that?
Woman, wait, you heard me kill a rat?
Attention, Dunwall citizens. Report all deceased family members to the local dead counter.
Don't ask
Unreported
me for
deaths
anything.
are a punishable
I'm barely
offense.
getting by myself. Every time I hear a boat out on the river, I wonder what mischief someone is getting up to. I won't fight you. No strength left. Half the city.
Good. I don't want these citizens getting killed by mistake either. I won't put him in the trash can. It's kind of mean.
Please the area when a motorized carriage or stilt walker approaches on state business. Be advised that such vehicles will not slow or stop to avoid citizens obstructing the way.
Just keep on saving because it makes me feel safe. She stopped throwing stuff out her window. Is she done? Well, made a mistake of leaving this open.
Granny, 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 come out with me instead. Granny, 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 you can't because you're dead.
Well, you're not dead. You're just a homebody.
I told you the knives go on the left. They've always gone on the left. You never listen.
I can feel the great age ending. They are burning ways. The doom of Pandacia has come to the city. The river rushed in when the barrier broke. The whole district went dark. I will be glad to rest. At the Academy, they cut the flesh of the dead and trap the lightning from the sky. Why am I so cold? The great ships have stopped bringing their hulls. What have they done to me? My father had golden hair. My mother hair like ash. This city is built on the bones of the great ones. When the last Leviathan is gone, darkness will fall. The Abbey is dark, its doors are locked, and no more of the great sermons. The overseers have taken to the streets. You can hear them too, crying out in the dark. The thinkers of the city. They devise new ways to tame the elements. Not so long ago, Dunwall was a proud city. Is it the month of harvest? Time has lost all meaning. How can it be that I know such things? Listen, I can hear their every thought. I am not alive, nor have I received the gift of death.
I still can't hear the heart speaking in-game, but I can hear it speaking in video playback. It's very odd.
Be careful, Corvo. They call her Granny Rags. You wouldn't recognize her real name, or even the name of her family, but an emperor begged for her hand once, and rich young men fought each other for her favor. I watched her consider them all, measure their worth, and find them wanting. Then, she made a different choice. You're on your way to face the High Overseer, the leader of a great cult dedicated to loathing me. What will you do, I wonder?
Dear? Is that you, my dear husband? My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies? The dear things must be starving without their granny. Here, birdies. Here. Oh, my. I think I have gentlemen callers again, but not the way I used to, not the nice ones. I hear them, and they're not very polite ones either. Granny Rags, let us in. Well, they'll go away again if they know what's good for them. But what a bother. Here's the key to the front door, love. You'll see to those ruffians, won't you?
Yeah. Sure.
Let us in, Granny. I bet she can't even hear us. She's blind, not deaf. We're here to do your washing. She's not stupid either. Have it your way.
We're here to take your money, Granny.
We're wasting our time. How much could she have? She digs in trash for a living. Let's get a drink. I'm dry as an overseer's prick.
She's been digging for 80 years. Must have found something.
Hear that, Granny?
Whatever you got, Slackjaw gets a cut. Nothing personal. just Bottle Street rules. Open up what the? It's just damn it! Where are you?
Right above you.
Oh, my dear. I knew you'd help me with those ill-mannered boys. My brave man. Listen, Granny has a birthday present for you. I
didn't realize it was my birthday.
and now I'm giving it to you. Go on. It's upstairs. On the vanity. I think you'll cut a nice figure with it. Remember how we used to dance? Our parties were even grander than those at the Boyle Manor. Everyone wanted to come.
Yeah. Those were some parties.
I hope you like the little gift I got for you. It's the least I could do for turning those louts away.
Who'd you get up here so
I
fast?
can't bear these Bottle Street children. Ruffians, every last one of them. Rotten apples. And that slack-jaw is the worst of the lot. You know what I just thought of? You could do something else for me. Another little favor. And I'd give you another present. Another lovely rune carved from the bones of a dead whale. Do you remember my doctor, dear? Dr. Galvani? Now there was a clever man. He's got all sorts of nasty rat guts and disease in his laboratory. Wouldn't it be a shame if some of that mess found its way into the Bottle Street Gang's elixir still? That'd teach him. See to it, dear. I'll find you another present just like the first. Galvani lives on Clavering Boulevard, or at least he used to. Those were the days. Now run off. My baby birdies are hungry. So precious.
Okay. Sergeant Hayburn, all the Wall of Light components have been delivered to your station, and I expect it to be functional before midnight. You've also been provided with several spare whale oil tanks, should they need a rise. Last, it's come to my attention that various watchmen continue the adolescent practice known as rat burning. Remember, whale oil is not cheap. Please keep your men under control.
I'll get to the bottom of this.
Or will you?
Look around.
He's here! Help!
We know you're here. I know you're somewhere around here. Here you are.
Assassin!
Take it! Damn you! For the watch!
I'm trying to punch you in the face.
That! Dump you in the river!
Okay, fine. You can do that in Dishonored 2. You can still take them down non-lethally in a fight. Well, this ain't Dishonored 2, Desmond, so stop trying. Okay, got caught, but I didn't kill anybody, so 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Isn't that just 50%? Yeah, whatever. Technically an F, but 50% is better than 0, wouldn't you say? You poor man. Death in the month of songs. She was shy in the month of hearts. hiding from my sent letters. A sun-doppled cure for my loneliness. She was smiling in the month of rain, eating figs straight from the tree, a dream of sailing round the isles. She was wed in the month of clams to her sailor cousin from Calero. She married her cousin? Really? Why? A shrill bird drilling at my chest. She was dying in the month of songs, struck by a disease from the east. A terrible kiss on her distant lips. Okay, these books are getting weirder and weirder. Darren and Gwen. Are those the names of the cousins? Because if it is, then I'm not gonna say aw. Sucks to be you. No whale oil for you assholes. Guess you can't use your wall of light anymore, huh? Since this game just kind of gives you the powers anyway, might as well use them. In Dishonored 2, you can refuse the Outsider's Mark, whether you're playing as Emily or Corvo. I suppose I could still just choose not to use my powers in this game. But where's the fun in that?
Wait. Did you touch the door handle to Dr. Galvani's lab?
Yeah, I think so.
To scrub. The rats get their vital essences everywhere, the doctor said.
Vital essences? Does that mean guts?
I think so. So your hands need scrubbing. You're unclean.
Unclean? That's nonsense. Can't we just...
No, I told you. With rubbing alcohol or white vinegar.
All right, all right. What is he doing there all day? Ambrose says he breeds rats that carry the plague.
Your friends are ignorant. The doctor is a brilliant man. If anyone can save this city, it's him.
The royal physician is going to save us. I hear his new elixir is twice as good against the plague.
I don't understand how Galvani can admire Sokolov. Royal physician or not, I hear tell he's a beast. A superstitious philanderer who spends more time with prostitutes than he does in the laboratory.
Is this what it's going to be like when we're married? It is, isn't it?
I hope not. I'm telling you now, I don't have the endurance for it.
Sounds like you two shouldn't get married then.
What? Oh no!
Sorry, milady. The latest case should arrive within a week, containing all the components you need. Be careful with the white phosphorus. Can't have you getting phossy-jawed like the Tanners at the edge of the city. Poor bastards. Sorry you have to practice in secrets. The vivisectionist would be celebrated, revered even. Cutting up rats should be done in the town square with a crowd of eager students taking notes, not in some dirty little secret room hidden behind a wall of books. Anyway, lucky for you to have a friend who never left the academy. Let me know what else you need. But remember, it might be a month before I can put together another shipment. Yours in knowledge, Artemis Moore. Procurement Clerk and Provisioner. Academy of Natural Philosophy, South Wing. P.S. Next time you're nearby, come in for an afternoon. We've stayed fairly insulated from the plague. since so few come around here. And we've got quite the stock of Tivian brandy. So, you have something hidden behind a bookshelf, eh? Classy. I wonder which book is the lever. Sewer capacity in the month of Nets. I've been asked to tell the problem, so here it is. It's been every year that we work like men gone mad during the month of Nets. I hardly see my family. It's bad enough that the works is clogged with trash from the catch, pieces of crates and nets. The water smells of hagfish gets too. We gotta get done before the month of rain, or you know what. And it ain't like we get help from those pricks in civil engineering either. Been at this job for nigh on 28 years, and I never seen one of them come below, except to measure will it hold when they go putting up one of their fancy new bridges. So these last 3 years have been the worst, and here's why. It's the river crusts, moved into the works. We hear a man ahead yell and scream like he's burning up, and we all climb up fast. No other choice. I'm sure nobody else would figure this out.
Obviously, the plague rat is distinct from the ordinary rat, but in what respect? Its size and the coarseness of its fur, and I believe in intelligence, although the experiments there are not complete. Coriander's zoological survey describes only the ordinary rat, which means plague rats have only been here for 5 or 7 years at most. This was not a gradual migration. Could they have been introduced on purpose? Perhaps by a foreign power.
Rat behavior and extermination. Used to be you'd go out with a bag, a stick with a nail in the end, and catch as many rats as you could in a night. The city watch paid by weight. My husband Benjamin and I mostly worked alone, and we got by. If we found a place where the rats were real bad, sometimes we'd hire a crew of street brats to work with us. The other ones who didn't make trouble. We'd pay them with bread and apple cider. Once the plague came, the rats were different. Meaner, bigger, a little quicker. You had to watch yourself. If you got cornered, they'd turn and swarm. Would come back at you. I barely got away with the skin a few times down the sewers. The bites hurt afterward, but it was the sounds they made that stayed in your dreams at night. It got more dangerous, and the city watch started paying better. But that didn't last long, because after a while too many people had been stripped clean, trying to fill up a bag. One slip and they'd be all over you, gnawing and trying to chew down to the bone. And that's how I lost my poor Benji. Oh, I'm so sorry. Benji was a good man, I'm sure. For over a year, I've studied this cursed plague, collecting and dissecting rats by the thousands. Given their rapid gestation and maturation cycle, it's been possible to breed them for numerous generations. The rodents themselves seem immune to the plague, but they pass it readily between members of their own species, perhaps through mites. Like termites? Or is these different kinds? The blood of rats tells its own story, allowing me to gauge the number of generations that have given a group of rats have lived with the plagues. As such, a nagging question remains. The rats collected in the poorest parts of town, in the slums, exhibit the oldest strain of the plague, while those found near the docks, where the foreign plague-bearing rats would presumably have entered our city, exhibit a younger strain of plague. Could this mean that the rats were transported to the slums in some way that is not obvious? I will continue my research. If nothing else, I'm living proof that Sokolov's elixir and Puro's remedy are very effective at protecting against the plague, if one consumes enough of the stuff. How much exactly? Like 400 milliliters? 10 ounces? A whole gallon? Little is known of Harkai, credited with this series of pamphlets arguing against the whaling trade. While he is gifted, his views are nonsense, and threaten the economic underpinnings of the empire. Enslavement on the breeding and husbanding of whales versus hunting the beasts in the wild after a natural and free life cycle. Arkady offers no solutions for where these massive, malevolent creatures might be pastured. Disillusion laments on the destruction of social bands between herd members. Arkady actually uses the term families. Harmony. Drivel at the aesthetic wonder of what is, in reality, the great and terrible ocean that ever threatens to swallow us. Includes arguments on the gentle nature of the brutes, a notion refuted by seamen who return ashore, wide-eyed with tales of the whale's savagery. Well, maybe the whales are so savage because you guys are hunting them down. You ever think of that? Disruption. Here Arkady is on his weakest footing, issuing up feverish warnings against the displacement of transference of natural beasts from their native environments. Okay, but you're not going to explain how he has weak footing in that argument? Or just for that, I'm on his side. Notes! This is something that I actually missed the first time I did this mission. Arthur's note. Dearest Gwen, the city is going to burn. I've sold everything, so there's nothing for me here now except you. I'll wait for you where Clavering Boulevard crumbles into the river, where we used to meet. We'll take the money I've made and bribe our way into a passing whale ship. I won't leave here without you, and if you won't come, I'd rather be rat food. Love, Arthur. Well, I hope they made it. But, if you'll remember, there's a note on the shutter that says, Darren plus Gwen. So, what's going on there? I've been invited to a soiree at the Boyle estate. Of course I won't attend. The 28th day of the 7th month, the month of high cold, is the day I met Anton Sokolov at the academy. Why would I tarnish the anniversary of the most important day of my life licking aristocratic boots? I have no time for fools, and I'll be solving the riddle of this plague. Perhaps I'll raise a cup of Tibian Red. Not sure why people are still drawn to alcohol. Give me Mr. Pibb.
Hey, can I buy your rash of elixir?
I'd rather be addicted to sugar than alcohol. Now, at some point I had decided, hey, you know what sounds like a good idea? Recording a video of me just standing right here, turning off all the HUD stuff and taking in the ambiance of this area. And then when I wanted to continue the mission, I forgot to put my microphone back on. So, I'm starting the mission over from scratch, basically. Cleaning instructions. Dear Miss Benton, when including my study, I ask that you constrain your efforts strictly to the floors. Please, at all costs, refrain from attempting to clean or arrange my bookshelf. In fact, it would be best to keep away from it altogether. Otherwise, I'll have to reconsider the terms of your employment. Regards, Dr. Galvani. P.S. Since I'll be out of the city for a few days, I have left next week's pay as well. The bank was closed, so I'm afraid it's short by half. You can count on me for the remainder next week, of course. Okay, so there's that. Another bull rat fetus jar. Let's just destroy that. There we go. Oh, it's still over there. It'll disappear. They didn't have to put that in this game, but they did. It was right about here. There were guards downstairs who needed taken care of. One of them is going to stand right about here. Restrict the restless hands, which quickly becomes the work notes of the outsider. Unfettered by honest labor, they rush to sordid gain, vain pursuits, and deeds of violence. Of what value are the hands that steal, kill, and destroy? Instead, put your hands to the plow, the fork, and the spade. For even the lowliest labor that is rigorous squeezes the muscle as a sponge, rinsing impurities from the mind and body. Oh no, man. The mark of the outsider is pretty helpful right now. Avoiding the rat plague. I don't think I've read this yet, so... Much of the public still harbors false beliefs related to the plague. It is not true that the bile from river crests will protect against contraction of the disease. Nor is it true that crushed Morley orchids act as a remedy. Or is it orchids? Though it is speculated that both of these ingredients are used in both Sokolov's elixir and Piero's remedy. Consumption of these products, before exposure to the plague, constitutes the only known means of resisting the disease. Further, the Abbey of the Everyman warns against superstitious practices. Not only is it ineffective to burn two hagfish and a cat together, inhaling the vapors while chanting the names of the plague dead, but it is also considered heresy by the overseers and will be met with the full measure of the Abbey's laws. Tell your neighbors and practice these things yourself. Avoid contact with the infected, consume your ration of elixir daily, preferably in the morning, and report anyone suspected of carrying the plague. Everyone must work together to stop the spread of the dreaded contagion. There you are. Okay, there he goes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's wrong with your face? Does he have the plague? And I'm gonna save my game again, just in case I get caught. Because I don't want to get caught. And if I do get caught, I want to start over so I can keep a clean record. Something I still couldn't find was the code to the safe. Oh crap. Born and raised in Bristol, I spent my formative years in our small cities, before settling in magnificent Dunwall. There in the capital city, I learned to appreciate the finer things. When the opportunity arose to document my travels to Sarkonis, Tivia, and finally Morley, I left my position as a clerk for the late Lord Estermont. Perhaps, like so many in Dunwall, I suffer from being excessively cultured, but I found Morley disappointing. Over the course of this journal, I will explain why I found the Festival of Churners to be tiresome despite the high banners, bare feet, and red robes, and why their renowned jellied ox tongue is something I will be struggling to forget for many years to come. Sarkonan blood sausage. Well, that sounds delicious. And you're sure that wasn't human guts? Because it kind of looked like... Feeding log. 4th day, month of wind, assorted human remains. Strong appetite. 10th day. 1 bag, Tivian pears. Bruised, rotted. Rats uninterested. 11th day. 1 tin, potted whale meat, eaten. 13th day. Human torso. No trouble finding corpse parts. 7th day. No feeding. Aggression increased. Incident of cannibalism. 12th day. Incident with previous maidservant. Will withhold feeding until 1st day, month of darkness. Let's get this guy out of here so the rats don't eat him by accident. I don't need that. For some reason, that counts as me killing somebody. Even though it wasn't my fault. I didn't kill anybody, the rats did. I never closed this door. Still have my grenade. Travel to Pandysia. I don't know if I read this too, but... The men I set out with are good sailors. No doubt half of them have cut their teeth on the rascally pirate ships spawned in the Sarkonan archipelago. Or they were, I should say. Half of them died before we sighted the broken red cliffs welcoming those who would visit the continent, as it was called. Sickness, infighting, poisoned by a school of, or should I say flock, small fish that fly over the waves like birds, landing in the hundreds across the deck, fricking only any they touched with toxic quills. 2 thrown overboard by gusting demon winds. The quiet Tivian navigator simply dead in his bunk, wrapped in his white furs, eyes wide with terror. Few have crossed the ocean, and the distance to Pandysia is greater than most would imagine. More died climbing the cliffs, and now with but a handful, I stand looking across the greatest expanse of land that exists. My allies are frightened. Far this is from beyond them. And now their captain is dead too. Stung by something that resembled a prairie mole, but reacted with great apoplectic outrage when handled. So it falls on me to lead them. There are still some words that I just don't know how to pronounce because I was never taught about them in school. I don't know what to tell you. I think this is it, 287? It was written on the chalkboard. Of course! I did check the other chalkboard, but it didn't have anything written on it, so I... 2... 8... 7... You see the way these things spin so quickly? In Dishonored 2, they move a bit, moderately slower, I would say. Maybe even mildly slower.
That's not what we... It was just a cold. Are you sure? Because you know we have to check you over. And there's an inspection fee.
To the void with Bottle Street and to the void with you. Let me out.
Oh, you don't want to talk to her like that. Fact is, where are you?
A place where you can't see me.
Anyone there?
It's just a matter of time, buddy.
Gotcha.
Out.
Don't worry, pal. Just let me take out the trash. People like you guys can get in here. I don't mind. But I would never put a civilian in a dumpster.
Let me out.
I owe you, brother. I want to ask about the mask. I wouldn't want my face seen either, pulling a stunt like that. You know what? I'll return the favor. Come by Griff's shop. That's my business. Well, it was, at one time, but now I'm reduced to scavenging things from here and there as the city dies. If you need anything, I wouldn't mind trading for a little money. Maybe someday the plague will blow over and everything will go back to normal. But until then, it's scavenging for me.
Well, scavenging isn't that bad. It's kind of fun, actually. Well, it's easy for you to say that now because you're just playing a video game. Try scavenging in real life, why don't you? Yeah, okay, I see your point. They got stuck in the ground for a second. Bone charms. A sailor's blessing, they say. The carving itself is a practice from long back, passed from father to son. Old man Salt to Greenhorn, still getting his sea legs beneath him. In the old times, men cut into the tusks of ice seals, and into the arm-long fangs of bears that roamed the isles north of Tivia. Once the whale trade began, the practitioners went to engraving the bones of those great beasts, rendering charms that sing in the night, and grant some small boon to a man's vigor, or defense against pregnancy. Now, does that mean that pregnancy wouldn't occur, or would the pregnancy be less painful than it usually is? I'm not sure what we're going for here. I would think it would just prevent a woman from getting pregnant at all. That's what it sounds like. 167? I'm gonna take a picture of that. That seems important. It wasn't. I went back to the beginning of the game and ended up finding a lot of these that just have the number 167 on. Who's leaving the toilet seat up?
Want to look at some of the things I found? Good prices, I swear.
We'll see about that. I will take some sleep darts. And that's all I can afford for now. Thanks. We gotta go into this distillery so we can put some nasty whatever into the stuff they drink. We're gonna poison their alcohol, okay? Sheesh, Desmond. And we're gonna do our best not to get caught. Of course, by we, I mean me.
When you're this handsome, you don't need luck. Face like a hagfish. Pay up. Don't be sour. Say, when's Slackjaw coming down? Not till the next batch of elixirs done. You'll want to check on things. Then you better get all your shit together, huh? Everything's fine. I run the still like I run a game of Nancy. Yeah. Right. Who's that? Somebody with coins? The office of the High Overseer. But what in the other? Where they train the Overseers. Crazy.
What?
Come on, let's get this guy. Got this guy.
Alright, let's try it again.
Where they train the Overseers to be real. Crazy. You know Eddie. Bring it at him when he's so. I remember. Brimsley job. Hidden a dumbwaiter all night. Yeah. So he goes from room.
Elixir accounts. Tubbard family, 4 doses. Cramling family, 3. Braden family, 5. Golden Cat, 2 crates. Bitterleaf Almshouse, 1. Ed Knack, 1 dose. Luther, 1. Black Sally, 2 crates. Griff, past due. Trace Flannery, 2 doses. Pratchett, 5. Nellie and Morris Sullivan, 2. So everybody's getting a cut. Bootleg still instructions? So this isn't even an authentic still. Attach an empty elixir vial to the spout before you turn the thing on. Turn the valve on. Collect the full vial. Repeat until empty. Do not break vials. Do not spill any elixir. No free swigs. It'd be a shame if something nasty were to get in here. Oops!
Okay, here goes. The nobleman laid with the scullery maid, so loudly they made quite a riot. The nobleman's wife took the butchering knife and carved herself some peace and quiet.
The wife done cut a boat, right?
Yeah, that's the gist. Now it's your turn.
Oh, let me think. Okay. Yeah, I got one. Ready?
I'm listening.
There once was a sailor from Morley who fancied a woman most sorely. He gave her his cash, she gave him a ration, and that's all. There isn't no Morley.
You win. You win.
Well, I know 100 of these old rappers. My mummy used to tell them that.
Your mummy? Your mummy told you a rhyme about how a woman gave a man an STD? Craxton, I'm coming tomorrow to check on the batch. Make sure you're wearing pants this time. And stick to the recipe. 1 part Sokolov's elixir, 1 part beach gum paste, 2 parts sugar water. That's it. The more of the real shit you cut in, the less there is to spread around, the less coin I make. This ain't charity. Slackjaw. Across the Empire, Old Dunwall whiskey is not only the finest libation of its kind, but it's also an important cultural tradition among discerning folk, sophisticated, and common alike. Captains moving their ships from across the great ocean always have a bottle in their quarters for occasions. Fine restaurants and bars keep it in stock, and farmers across Bristol exchange Old Dunwall whiskey when healthy children are born. Great Ocean is dangerously close to Great Sea. Just saying. Some might disagree, preferring high brown drinks such as King Street Brandy or one of the other brands from Morley. But sales of Old Dunwall have been brisk through the early years of the Empress Jessamine Coldwin. A trend that is expected to continue. Aged and bottled in Dunwall's distillery district, Old Dunwall whiskey is what you want. Again, I'd rather have a pib. But ooh, grenade. And that's how I get out. So far, so good. And thank you for the bolts. I'll see you next time.